All right. Hello, hello, all.
Hello, friends.
What up?
Sorry, we're late. Technology, as always, is a bitch.
Yeah.
And then
As
we die.
always. And then we die. Yeah! Woo!
So, but we are back. Great 8 Saturni 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Essentially.
Yeah, so quick introductions. I'm Kels. Usually I play Naruhodo Naruhosuke, but Ryunosuke Naruhodo, that was real great. I'm doing great today. But this time he's not there. My boy's not there. So I'm playing the judge.
Leave it.
Sorry, I was talking to Eric.
No, you're good.
No, you're good. Hello, my name is Manabingu, your resident voice actor. I am playing prosecution. I usually play prosecution because they're all the bitches. So
You're not wrong.
apparently, my typecast is bitches. Yeah.
And my name is Lemur, and I am playing Susato, who is our defense this time.
Yeah.
So that's why everything's all messed up. 'Cause normally, Kelsey and I have essentially traded places.
Yep.
With what we normally do.
Which has gone great because neither of us can remember what you did last time, so we're doing great though. We're doing good. We're
fine.
We're living, sort of.
10 out of 10. Oh, yeah.
So this is our second stream on it, so let's recap what we did last time. As a cross-dressing Susato, aka nervous crackhead Ryutaru Naruhodo, we must defend our smitten bestie, De Membami, accused by Aochi of murdering Giselle Brett from the last game because no other lawyer wants to and the court is too misogynistic to let lawyers have cooties. Brett never explained her motive and was to be moved to Shanghai before her death. Brett was for some reason allowed to continue her research and relax at a beach hut when she was stabbed in the lung and had a pen in her hand. The supposed motive is that Day studied under Wilson and wanted to avenge him. Aochi said that they were alone together, but Day said there was a detective around too. Aochi plans to humiliate Susato as proxy for Ryunosuke, defeating him and Kazama, chopping his chonmage off. Hosonaga and Natsume are back as witnesses, along with a reporter dude with an ink-stained hand who process of elimination says is the culprit if another candidate doesn't show up. Yeah, chat, you were really into the reporter has to be the culprit last time, and I don't necessarily disagree, but also
You're onto something.
If he just turns out to be a random dude, I'm going to laugh. I'm so sorry. Natsume was talking to her dad, so they took Dad's place at Brett's study, and Hosonaga was supposed to be supervising Brett, but he sucks at his job, so he's not gotten better since the last game. It's fine. The testimony claimed they stabbed Brett repeatedly with a bloody blade, despite the autopsy report indicating a single stab, and the pen has the initials RM. We tried to assert that they pulled the knife out to save her, but basic medical knowledge complicated this and led to our first internalized misogyny moment. Upon taking a closer look at the evidence, we found that poison was stolen from the lab, which only the reporter and they seemed to know about since even our dad didn't know. And the symptoms match up with Brett's corpse. We also examined the pen's empty ink reservoir. We think Ray pulled the knife to keep the poison out. She admitted that she knew the poison was stolen and told no one, but assumed Brett stole it and tried to get it back, then noticed the knife in her bag. And Aochi tried to spin that back to her. Our classism count is 14. Our Susato internalized misogyny count is 1. And yes, Ryunosuke is busy dealing with Sholmes in Britain, so we're playing as Phoenix Wright's real ancestor, Ryutaro Naruhodo. So, let's get started.
No Naruhodos were harmed during the making of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I have evidence, and it's very much conclusive.
Is it, though?
Oh, that's right. I was like, what's the prosecution counsel up to? It was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there. I'm almost sure of it.
Well, I'm gonna guess it might not be as conclusive as he wants to think. Or we hope it's not as conclusive as he wants to think.
Yeah.
You will produce the aforementioned evidence at once, Prosecutor Aochi.
Perhaps some praise is due, young Yokel student.
What?
I had imagined that there would be no need for me to submit this evidence.
I'm sorry, I have such a problem with Ouchie. I had a problem last game too, where he's like, you know what, I didn't think I would have to submit this, so
Yeah.
I just didn't.
But he's doing it anyway.
Yeah, you know, like, if Discovery
Pretty
existed in these games, Ouchie would be not a lawyer.
Yeah. Little bitch.
But you brought this on to yourself.
Oh.
Well,
Well.
shit.
Well,
Yeah, why would
shit.
you think that you would need to submit that?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Also, I mean, it doesn't deny that what we said. She could be pulling it out. It just doesn't
Yeah.
really look great. Also, who the fuck is just taking pictures?
Yeah. Who's the photographer here?
Yeah, no
Oh,
one
maybe
would
it's
be a
the
lawyer if Discovery
photographer.
existed in these games.
Real.
Could a more
You gotta
damning
think
shot
about like the
exist?
fact.
Hmm?
You gotta think that like cameras in those days, like that photo was ready to be taken.
And like, if you think about the fact, I don't believe Zoom existed yet because that required a different lens.
Uh-huh.
So you have to be real goddamn close to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Ah.
no, somebody was ready to take that picture. They were prepared.
Yes,
It could be the culprit just to frame her.
it could. You know, like, otherwise, why the fuck are you taking a picture of this? Just
Yeah,
gotta put
it's
that
kinda
out there.
It's kind of cringe, bro.
Hmm The cruelty in the air on that beach is almost palpable.
This evidence, more than any other, reveals the true extent of the accused's murderous nature. For it shows the precise moment that Membami-san plunged her dagger into the victim's back.
No, that's not true. No. Please excuse me as I'm having to squint to read.
I don't believe it.
Ah!
Well, we suck.
Yeah, we don't have FaceTime in this
We don't
era.
have FaceTime. Man, FaceTime would have been great.
Yeah, look, like, sometimes you just need to
Jeez.
call someone while you're committing murder. It's fine.
Yeah, goddamn.
Order! 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 Counsel for the defense, was it you who was responsible for that shrill scream that just pierced my courtroom?
Perhaps his voice has yet to break. These yokels are slow of mind and slow to mature.
Yikes.
Okay,
Did he just say we're going through puberty?
yes. Well, we're not quite going through puberty yet. I don't know how old he thinks we
Well,
are.
I'll show you who's slow to mature.
I'll show you puberty. No.
Yeah.
Careful now. Susato is starting to show her face here.
It is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and here we have ample proof. We don't have proof of shit.
Yeah, we don't got nothing.
We knew that her hands were on the knife. Like, Ouchie, you gotta do better than that, man.
Yeah.
The court will accept this extremely cogent photographic print as evidence. The incriminating photograph has been entered into the court record.
Oof.
Yippee.
I can't believe he's had a photograph like that up his sleeve the entire time. It's such a stark image. I'm genuinely lost for words.
Wait a minute! I don't understand! How did you... I mean, who took that photograph?
Ray.
That was a weird ass objection.
Oh yeah, we have audio back for those of you wondering.
Oh my god, yeah, last time I didn't hear the shrill objection.
Mm-hmm.
That's of no importance here. Stop trying to divert attention.
No, that's of importance, because that means there's actually a witness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real.
Oh. With Susato's very manly voice.
Hell yeah.
That's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. Whoever took this photographic print was a witness to Miss Brett's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony.
Ah!
I will uphold the defense's demand. The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible for taking this photograph at once. Is it Brittany, bitch? Is our baby back?
Oh my god, Brittany bitch, please.
Well, I'm afraid I can't do that.
He's an Instagram star. He's famous.
It's JoJo Siwa.
Oh god.
Can you imagine? This trial would be over in 2 seconds.
Pardon?
You see, this print arrived at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by express post yesterday.
You don't even know who took it?
But there was nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. The provenance of the print is, unknown.
Oh my god, man. Goodness.
What the fuck, sir?
Are we to understand then, Council, that in full knowledge of the fact that this photograph has the murkiest of origins, you nevertheless believe it fit for submission as evidence in the Supreme Court?
Yeah, get him, Susato.
When you first produced the print before, I noticed that you hesitated for a brief moment. Because you knew that it wasn't completely reliable evidence, didn't you?
You silence, you yokel student and blabbering professor!
Oh my god.
Stop saying facts and shit. What matters is blatant truth that this print is eloquently expressed.
But the defendant has already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound. Bitch. Clearly, this isn't the moment the knife was plunged into the victim's back, but
The moment it was withdrawn. Don't waste this court's time with your ramblings.
Well, there's a lot of blood if it's the moment that she drove it in. Like, sorry.
yeah.
Indeed. Without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim. And the scene it captures is without doubt the most compelling evidence presented to the court. If the defense is unable to shed any further light on the matter, I believe the conclusion is clear. It is?
Oh shit.
Oh no!
Oh shit. Susato, this is the time for you to fight. If what you've established so far is true, then there could be no doubt. Look at this photograph. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim.
Yes, we just need to prove that somehow.
Oh, you'll have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the slow train back to the provinces. And to rue the day you came up against Taketsuchi Aochi in the court of law.
I'm sorry, dude, you're destined to fail, but okay.
If I can't determine who took this photograph, then the trial is going to come to an end. There must be a clue somewhere. There must be some way of working out who took it.
Well, counsel.
Your Excellency. The burning question is who took that photograph, and the truth is...
I hate when they do this to us.
Fuck. Fuck.
It's, you know what, like, no, I don't know the answer. Well, I mean, I do think I kind of know the answer.
Why are they like this?
But here's the thing. The truth is, I don't know who took that photograph because I don't know the name of the reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't have him in my court record, I don't think.
Yeah.
No.
I do not. You know what? It is a crime that they cut off the turtle's head in this photo, but...
Yeah, poor turtle. Damn, what did the turtle do to y'all?
Ooh, I can... Anything we need to see here while we're... It's really weird that the glass is broken.
Oh. Yeah, why is the glass broken?
I assume that that's going to become a thing. So...
Yeah. Huh.
Okay, well, do we want to say we have the answer or just say I don't fucking know?
I feel like if we say we don't, I don't know. This is where, like, it's a trap.
Because, like, here's the thing. If we say we have the answer, they're going to ask us for the answer, and I don't have
Exactly.
anyone in my court record. Unless we
took
want to
the
start
photo.
getting... Yeah, clearly, my dad took it for fun. Clearly, it was the
Dude, shows your
prosecution.
camera. We could accuse, what's his face? Oh, the scared guy.
Oh, Natsume?
Yeah, Natsume. We could, and then maybe by proxy be like, it was actually your photographer, actually. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Okay.
kind of thinking we have to say I don't know.
Okay.
That's just my...
Okay.
But, yeah.
It's in my jellies.
It's in your
Okay.
jellies. Okay, we'll follow your jellies.
They took a Spider-Man selfie.
Yes.
No, if I give up now, I'll never be able to look Ray in the eye again.
And get married.
Yeah, exactly.
Susato, you need to steel yourself and summon your best argument.
I'll do my best.
Or no coffee jelly for you tonight, young lady. I know you love coffee jelly.
This
Coffee jelly.
isn't about whether I can or can't come up with the answer now. I simply have to.
Okay, well, both roads
Hmm.
led to the same place. It's fine.
The identity of the person who took the dramatic photographic print is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal.
Hell yeah, sis.
Are we about to have, like, whenever there's a word count on an essay and suddenly we all talk in, like, 800 words more than we will ever need to as we stall for time?
Well, no, you can't possibly. But as you so boldly claim that you can, please do enlighten us.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to present a name.
Oh, how utterly underwhelming.
However, I'm able to present evidence.
I am?
The defense has a piece of evidence that reveals important details about the photographer's identity.
I do?
Apparently.
Is it the crack?
I mean, I assume it must be the crack. Oh, it is the crack. Because look, it's also on the...
Oh.
So it's the
That's
same
some
person.
galaxy brain shit.
It is the photographer. Chad was right.
Chat was right.
What?
Very well then, counsel. Present your proof to the court. Which piece of evidence do you claim reveals something about the identity of the mystery photographer? What is that? The newspaper again? Rosh's English returnees tell all.
It's not the headline that's relevant here, Your Excellency. It's the photograph. If you look closely, you'll notice that there are some white lines on the right-hand side.
Oh, yes, indeed. They had already caught my eye as it happens. Sure they did.
What of
I
it?
already noticed it.
A shadow of some kind of presumably from the branches of a tree or the like.
There are no trees growing inside my laboratory at the university, I can assure you.
Green spaces? How dare you?
Now, if you look closely at this photograph,
Look at this photograph.
Again.
Ah, good gracious.
yes, exactly the same pattern of lines is present on this photograph too.
Well, that tells us nothing. Yes, a shadow of some kind, definitely from the branch of a tree.
There wouldn't be any trees growing inside a hut at the beach, Council.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, no, with that.
What's quite remarkable about it is that the two patterns are absolutely identical. Okay, I need to ask this question because it's really bugging me. Does
Yes.
he have a drink shaker on his right-hand side?
Oh, looks like he does.
Like, is that why
Bro
the judge
drinking
can't
sake.
ever, like, follow anything? He's over here having mixed drinks the whole time?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
Like, mood. I respect it. Don't get me wrong, but how could such an extraordinary similarity have transpired?
We'd like
The
to
curious
phone a friend.
matching pattern that appears on both photographic prints is a result of.
Is it the photographer's technique? A camera defect? Or is it just some tree branches?
No, it's a camera defect for sure.
Is it an inkwell, chat? Or is it
Sake.
a nice, good margarita?
It's a huge
Real.
inkwell, if that's what it is.
Tequila! Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Obviously, it must be due to a problem with the camera used to take the photograph.
With the photographic device?
Yes, we can confidently say that the camera's lens must be scratched. And that the scratched lenses causes unwanted lines to appear on every print taken with the device.
In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken with the same camera.
What? There must be hundreds of such camera devices here in the capital. It would be utterly impossible to identify the owner of this particular one.
Would it?
I think you're forgetting, Prosecutor Ouchie, that one of the photographs featured in a newspaper article. Here we go. I don't know why my brain was like, I
A
can't read all of it.
newspaper. Aww.
That's right. The author of that article is the mystery witness to this crime.
I mean, I don't think the author technically takes their own photos, but
No, but
Stuffy.
homie's close.
Oh shit.
Ah!
he said many, miny, mo. I see why you were called a raucous English returnee.
What are you yelling about? You already testified.
Sit down and shut the fuck up.
It's me memo, I tell you, mini memo. Me memo.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So Seki-san, what was that? Did you say, oh gosh, many memo?
Ever since I returned to Japan, a reporter from the Shoyu News has been hounding me, following my every move. A reporter by the name of Naiten Many Memo. Yes, hounding me from the dawn till dusk. I hate paparazzi.
Ah, now that he mentions it.
Yeah, exactly, chat. It does start with an R.
Hmm.
We have an RM.
RM.
Wow.
Oh, they secretly spy snapshots, scribble stories, and discover my privacy.
And look at his armband. It has the
That
same design.
reporter be- Yep.
The camera to the left of him, a notebook to the right. There I am, stuck in the middle, with Light and Many Memo.
Okay, he's just gaslight gatekeep girl bossing. Like, calm down, Soseki. So, you're saying that this picture was taken by...
By Many Memo, yes, my lord, your excellency, Esquire.
And he was in the lab when the stuff was taken.
Mm-hmm.
So, officer, find this newspaper reporter at once and bring him to my courtroom. We will adjourn for a short recess in the meantime.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency.
Oh, as you say, Your Excellency.
And one
Fuck.
more thing. I want this knife, the murder weapon, examined for traces of poison. You will solicit the assistance of the Imperial University's medical department for the task. Understood?
Meh. Many memo.
Glad everyone's lost their fucking minds.
Incredible.
Hey, we had the to be continued!
Well, that was fast.
Deal.
If I remember correctly, we didn't line these up very well last time either.
Your Honor, permission to Susato Titan this motherfucker?
Yes, permission granted.
Yeah, let's fucking do that.
I'll allow it.
Be so fun, you guys.
13th of August, 10:41 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendants, Antechamber 3.
There's our girlfriend.
I'm so sorry, Susato. I should have told you about the toxin.
Right.
You have a strong sense of responsibility, I know. That's why you decided to shoulder the burden alone.
No, that's not it at all.
You just forgore?
I was scared of my failure coming to light, that's all. So I hope to retrieve the substance from the Englishwoman before anyone found out.
Oh, too late, sis.
Before the trial started, do you remember what you said, Susato? That you had no doubt in your mind about my innocence? That you'd stand by me to the last?
I remember.
And yet I didn't deserve your trust in me. I hid important details from you, Susato. I completely betrayed your faith in me. Hit me, Susato! I deserve it! No,
Oh.
in fact, throw me to the floor!
Oh.
No, that's too good for me as well. Drag me through the city streets.
What are you into, girl?
Some very kinky shit.
I'm no better, you know.
Oh?
Even though in my heart I knew that you'd pulled the knife blade from Miss Brett's bag, there was just a brief moment when, in my mind, I doubted you.
Susato?
I'm sorry. After I stood here and promised you that I'd stand by you and always be at your side, I betrayed your faith in me too. And as such, I failed you as a lawyer.
Oh, no.
I think this situation has taught both of you a valuable lesson.
Now it's time to kiss and make up.
Don't drag each other to the street and do kinky shit. No, placing
In front of your father.
In front of your father, yes, not in front of your father, never, no. Placing your unbridled faith in another is not an easy task. But that's why they say, to death do your part. Again.
Yes, Father. The fact has certainly struck home. Which is why I can see more clearly now. So, Ray,
Yes?
can you find it in your heart to forgive me?
Oh shit, here we go. She gonna cry.
Oh, Susato. You know you'll always be a gallant, dashing lawyer in my eyes now.
Oh.
Oh, Ray.
Now kiss!
Girl never misses a chance to flirt, and you know what? I support it.
Real.
Like, mood. I was so scared, when it happened. I didn't know what was going on. The Englishwoman was sitting at the back of the hut, listening to what I was saying. I know it was you who stole the poison. Well now, whatever do you mean? And then a moment later, she suddenly got to her feet. before collapsing on the floor in front of me, with a knife in her back. It all happened right before my eyes.
And you were the only people in the hut at the time?
That's right. Just Miss Brett and myself. There was no one else. So I just don't understand how she possibly could have been stabbed like that.
A great mystery indeed.
I still can't believe it happened. That's why I just couldn't bring myself to speak up.
It will be alright. However it happened, and whatever really went on by the sea that day, I promise you that I'm going to prove everything you've said you saw is true.
Spoken like a true Mikotoba.
Sir, you're a
No.
doctor.
No, details. Details. Now, I think we should discuss what's coming up in the trial, don't you? We don't have much time. We must make sure we have our facts in order.
Yes, I expect the poison is going to come under close scrutiny in the upcoming proceedings. The police should hopefully have identified it on the blade by now.
The trouble is, it's a completely new laboratory synthesized blend of alkaloids. The police won't have any way of testing for it.
Why don't we do it?
Oh, I see.
Yes. Without this chemical reagent, it's impossible to detect the toxin.
A chemical reagent?
I sent a colleague of mine off with some earlier to deliver to police headquarters. I think perhaps you should have some as well, though, just in case. Don't drink it.
Yeah.
What's the matter, Susato? You suddenly very quiet. Did you drink it?
It's this newspaper article. Exclusive. Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. I'm wondering how the information got out, given that it was a government secret.
Except if he stole it. It was all the Englishwoman's doing.
What?
It was when the professor and Soseki-san were being interviewed at the laboratory. That so-called English lady. She was English. Like, why are we saying so-called? That so-called English lady swaned in, and without any compunction said to Professor Mikotoba, "Oh, Professor, surely your guest would love to hear about your work on that substance there."
It put me in a very awkward position, to be frank. But Soseki-san's curiosity had been piqued, so I had little choice but to give him a cursory introduction.
So then, Soseki-san knew about the poison.
Yes, and it's highly likely that the reporter who was writing up the story about us would have caught a glimpse of the toxin too.
This... Oh god, many memo-san. I just have to go for it, I can't overthink it.
No.
By the way, did that reporter join you all when you went to the beach?
Oh, no, I don't remember the reporter being there.
Indeed. He shouldn't have been. I very much doubt anyone would have wanted him there.
Oh?
A known criminal had been given permission by the authorities to bathe by the seaside. Soseki-san pointed out that inviting a reporter might be problematic, so the man was sent back to the office.
Yeah, he obviously didn't go back. He secretly followed the party to the beach and took this very candid photograph.
And then presumably... Oh, wait, that's you.
And then presumably he posted it anonymously to the police.
Oh,
Why anonymous, though?
I mean, it would kind of raise questions if he was there. considering the
Real.
fact he wasn't supposed to be there.
Real.
Yeah.
Yes, that must be what happened.
Bailiff
Counsel!
Elmo!
We get to see Bailiff Elmo.
Oh my god, he's so beautiful.
We've just heard that the new witness is now ready to testify. The trial is about to resume. Please proceed into the courtroom at once.
Yes, Bailiff Elmo. Oh, Bailiff Elmo, I love you. It's time to steel ourselves once again, then. Defense attorney, Ryutaro Naruhodo, wink wink, nudge nudge.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you, son.
Ray has put her faith in me now and told me everything. So I can't let her down. I have to prove that what she's telling the court is true. I have to prove what really happened that day.
All right. Yeah, the pun is writing many memos.
Oh, so many memo.
Many memo.
Many memo. Ah, I
13th
get
of
it.
August, 11:30 a.m.
Damn.
Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 1.
These guys. These guys.
I hereby call this court to order as we reconvene to continue the trial of Ray Membami. Prosecutor Alchi, have you summoned the new witness?
Before I address that question, Your Excellency, I have some very important news to share.
I'm a granddad.
Right? It's
Oh.
gonna be so stupid.
What news? And why does he look so happy about it?
Not too happy.
During the recess, with the collaboration of Professor Mikoto's laboratory at Yume University, the police re-examined the knife that was used to end Miss Jezebel's Brett's life.
Excellent. I admire your rapid handling of the matter. Just because it was rapid doesn't mean it was good, but whatever.
Oh, you're too kind, Your Excellency, too kind. I was merely carrying out your instructions, of course.
What a kiss ass. I mean, I had a reagent delivered to police headquarters by rickshaw, so it would be there in good time.
No, but judging by the man's
No,
swagger...
wrong one. Wrong one.
Oh, wait,
Oh, this bitch, right? Fuck, he's on screen. But judging by this man's swagger, I fear we might need to brace ourselves for the inevitable.
And counsel, what are the results?
Well, this dagger, which was so cruelly used to end the life of the victim, has no trace of poison anywhere along its blade.
What? Are you sure about that?
Oh, I would stake the reputation of the police on it.
So,
Unless you have a reagent,
No.
so...
Armed with the reagent, the test is extremely simple. They couldn't have made a mistake.
don't underestimate them. All right.
No,
Well, we now
why
have
don't we
the
just
court.
do it ourselves?
We now have the murder weapon, so let's take a look at that really quick. Actually,
Let's put the reagent on it anyway. Ah yes, this must be the victim's blood. Oh dear.
Oh dear, the blood is never a pretty sight, is it? I'm having to fight the urge to run it under a hot tap and get it fixed. Girl,
It's
I'm
evidence!
having the urge to destroy evidence.
yes.
No, stop destroying evidence! Bad, Susato, bad! You've always been fastidious about cleanliness, haven't you? I think this... Oh, wait.
I think this is something else, Father.
Yeah, it's called the
Lysol
criminal
wipes?
instinct.
Oh wait, Lysol wipes were not invented yet, damn!
Okay, there's like literally nothing other than blood on here.
Unless we put the reagent on it anyway.
I don't know. Let's take a look at the reagent. Nothing appears obviously out of the ordinary here, does it? Okay, well, you don't have to call me out like that.
Use it?
The label appears to be written in a foreign language that I don't know.
Oh, well, it's German. So your knowledge of English is going to be a bit of little help here, I'm afraid.
Can you? You kidding? Sorry, my computer just my work computer just went off. Somebody Teams'd me. Like it is almost 8 p.m. Stop.
Nor.
Sorry. You want rage that just filled my body. That's a tomorrow me problem.
Yep.
Couldn't you just have written medicine on it in Japanese? Then we'd all be able to read it.
German is the international language of medicine, my dear. But yes, I can certainly see the merit in labeling the bottle in Japanese. I'm not sure medicine would be entirely appropriate.
I did not know that about medicine. Is it really German?
I don't think it is anymore, but I think it used to be.
Interesting.
In short, the accused's feeble excuse earlier has been utterly destroyed.
Yeah, I forgot that we've altered evidence as Susato before, so girl just has a criminal streak, and I like it. I
I'm here for
approve.
that.
Now the prosecution is ready to call the new witness.
The newspaper reporter who managed to capture a photograph of the crucial moment. Good. Very well, officer. Bring in the witness.
No trace of poison on the knife. But if that's really the case, how could the toxin have entered the victim's body?
The pen. The pen. Oh god, this bitch.
Sir, you probably shouldn't lick your pencil.
Yeah, if it has the poison.
Witness, please state your name, occupation, and occupation to the court.
Do you want to play him or do you want me to? I just realized this is a new character.
You could play him.
Okay. Let's see what we should do. Daiten many memo of the Shoyu News. I'm what people like to call a journo.
What's a
Oh, fuck. That's...
What's a journo, Father? Do you know?
Well, it's simply a contraction of journalist.
I'm there when the news breaks, putting pen to paper to catch those scoops so they're in print the next morning. They don't call me the hero of the Herald for nothing. The nice guy of news.
I don't like that he slapped himself with his suspenders.
Sickest guest I know it. Yeah.
Oh, he's Gaston for sure. Yeah.
Oh,
He's newsy
so,
Gaston.
it was you who took this photograph, was it?
Well, what have we here?
I'm sorry.
Please don't look at us like that.
Oh, brace yourselves, people. Many memo senses a scoop in the offing. Female student up to foul play defended by curiously handsome young lawyer in Supreme Court. The readers will lap this up. We'll set it above the fold at 72 point in a 5-leg format for the morning edition.
Huh?
Oh, this guy is real.
Right then. Let's start with your name.
There's drilling happening in my kitchen.
Why are we going along with this bitch?
It's Ryutaro Naruhodo.
Next, what made you want to become a lawyer?
Well, girl, stop answering his question. I wanted to reform our country's legal system, I suppose.
Ryotaro has suddenly become very ambitious, I see.
It has borrowed Kazuma-sama's dream for a while.
No, by the way, my name is Taketsuchi Auchi. It's Taketsuchi Auchi. The so-called dark horse of the Supreme Court. My objections strike fear into every defense lawyer's heart.
Do they, though?
My blood type is... Wait, he stopped listening.
No, the readers won't buy that.
Ah!
Witness?
He said I'm unappealing.
Yes. What this court demands to know is whether or not you were responsible for the taking of this picture. It was delivered anonymously to the Imperial Police Bureau only yesterday. Yeah, I wouldn't be a journo if I didn't quite click quick when presented with a scoop like that, now would I? Sometimes Story calls out to me, sometimes I have to chase him down, but either way, you gotta be fast. Fast legs to run with and a fast hand to write with. It's no good if you don't note it down, I always say. That's what I call my many memoism.
Wow.
This man is
I hate
going to really get me.
Many memoism?
He is literally guest on Newsy.
Mhm.
Ah, yes, I remember your annoying face. We met that day when you were interviewing myself and Soseki-san.
Yeah, right. That was me, many memo again.
Damn, bitch, do you have a life?
No.
Anyway, but you were supposed to be going back to the Shoyu news offices after our meeting.
But the scoop is, I didn't. Because that English woman's words had piqued my journalistic interest.
Miss Brett's words?
A criminal left to do as she pleases just because she happens to be a British citizen? It's horse dung! This country's judiciary is rotten to the core. The Supreme Court's rulings aren't worth the paper they're written on. The police are just imperial pawns. I shouldn't be agreeing with the man that I know did the murder.
Right, what the fuck?
Stay your tongue, young man. There are complex political issues at play.
Have you all thought maybe you're just stupid? Well, anyway, I quickly jotted down those words she said in my many memo pad. Are you ready? I'll read it out. It's all here. Right, here goes. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. A serious criminal going on some junket? The people need to know about this. That's why I decided to sneak after them. To get the woman's story so I could hammer her in the press. Do you mean to say that you did indeed witness it firsthand? The grim scene portrayed in this photograph. Oh yeah, I saw it with my very own journo eyes. From start to finish, through the viewfinder of my trusty camera. Thank you, Many Memo Song. You will now give a formal testimony before the court. You will state exactly what it is that you witnessed of the events surrounding Miss Brett's death.
I don't trust this guy.
If I have to say many memo pad one more time.
I'm glad I didn't take this role. You're welcome.
Alright, the camera never lies. The beach hut was made of shoddy old reed screens, so there were plenty of gaps I could see inside through. The English woman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the English woman to the floor. She stabbed her in the back. My smoldering journo spirit burst into flames. Quick as a flash, I whipped out my camera, ready to click. I pulled apart the rough weave of one of the screens and poked the lens through for the perfect shot.
Why is your hand purple?
Read screens, you say?
Right. You can see them clearly enough in that great shot I snapped. The hut walls were just screens made of coarsely woven reeds. Yes, it allows the breeze to pass through and bring some relief from the summer heat. And it was a breeze for me to poke my camera through and see the whole thing hotting up.
Ignoring for the time being the appalling invasion of privacy involved, did you witness everything that happened from the moment the defendant entered the hut?
Oh yeah, I saw it. I saw the whole thing from start to finish.
Because I was there to stab a bitch. And you say that you took the photograph through a gap in one of the screens?
Luckily for me, they were pretty shoddily woven. I pulled the reeds apart and thrust the lens of my camera through the gap. Would I get away with it, or would I be seen? It was the gamble of a lifetime.
A tenacity of purpose that's considered admirable in a journalist, I suppose.
Run a risk
Otherwise
one day,
creepy.
run a scoop the next. That's many memoism in a nutshell. At last. It would appear we have a genuine witness to this wicked crime. The evidence and testimony are extremely compelling. I believe we may be close to a verdict.
No.
Oh, wonderful news, Your Excellency. Wonderful.
Nevertheless, it cannot be denied. But this testimony begs one very large question.
What question?
Exclusive news. A startling photograph. All the makings of an exceptional story for the reporter. Why then was the story never published?
Oh, that's right. That's not
Wow.
an answer.
Can you stretch it a little bit farther? I want to see if it snaps. I mean, it seemed clear to me that there are circumstances at play that are yet to be understood.
More pathetic excuses.
You see, the paper didn't like that I clearly broke the law in order to take the photo, but,
Real.
very well then, counsel. Proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Excellency. There's more to this reporter than meets the eye. He's keeping something about this case very close to his chest. Or, on his bicep.
Yeah,
His titties.
the camera never lies. The beach hut was made of shoddy old reed screen, so there were plenty of gaps I could see inside through.
What made you want to see what was happening inside the beach hut in the first place? You pervert.
Call it journo instinct. Can you think of a better reason?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps because, as well as being a proven criminal, the person inside was a young woman. Nasty.
Ah, I see where you're going with this. Brace yourselves, people. He's painting the journal as a voyeur. I'm gay.
It's hardly slander, sir. You had a camera and you were taking pictures without the woman's knowledge.
Nope, you got it all wrong, little student boy.
Sorry?
To my mind, all that was inside that hut was a scoop. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yikes.
Scoop's no gender. Man or woman, it's all news. That's not even many memoism, it's basic journalism.
If only the courtroom was as indiscriminate.
Right.
Damn.
So, if that's all buttoned up, can we move on? Tell the court then, witness, what sight befell your eyes when you looked inside the hut? A sight that vindicated my journo instinct, that's what. When I pulled back the reeds, I could see it all as clear as day. The English woman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her.
So you actually saw Manabingu entering the hut.
Yep, and she was raging. Raging like my journo spirit.
And the argument you mentioned, what was that about exactly?
You stole it. I didn't steal it. That kind of thing.
Talking about the poison, I suppose.
The student girl walked right up to the English woman and really started laying into her. I mean, if she'd laid into her anymore, there would have been eggs.
Man should have been an author. His descriptive talents are wasted on journalism.
But the student's ranting fell on deaf ears, like a Japanese person listening to English for the first time.
He really ought to work on his similes, right?
Mhm.
I don't know why my brain was like, I don't know what that word is. First, though, to be
Miles.
honest.
You went, I have forgotten every bit of English class I've ever known in this moment.
See.
Anyway, the point is that woman in the dock was mightily angry.
And her temper finally got the better of her, it seems. Dear me.
Which was the climactic moment that I caught on film. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the Englishwoman to the floor as she stabbed her in the back.
How many pencils do you have?
A lot. Thank you for asking.
Do you swear before this court that you actually saw the precise moment when the stabbing took place?
Ha! The precise moment. I didn't see just that. I saw the whole hellish scene play out, from start to finish.
I have here a simple plan of the beach hut. Perhaps you could use it to explain to the court exactly what you witnessed.
Right you are. It's all here in my mini memo pad. Sir, if you say that one more time, I am going to murder you.
We'll kill you.
When I first peered into the hut, I'm sure that the English woman was on this stool at the back of the hut here.
Yes, the accused's own testimony confirmed that.
She just sat at the back of the hut smiling sweetly, is what I have noted down.
It's my turn to testify now. Try not to interrupt.
Oh, fuck you. Ugh.
Bitch.
Then, the next moment as I was watching, the evil student girl entered the hut. After a while, the pair of them ended up in the middle of the hut, arguing furiously. The English woman went for the student, but the girl dodged out of the way. And in a flash, plunged the knife into her adversary's back as the two passed each other. What you describe is a grim crime indeed. Never sugarcoat the truth. That's what many memoism says.
By the way, Many Memo-san, whilst you were watching the terrible scene unfold before your eyes through the gap in the screen, did it not occur to you to try and prevent the tragedy rather than capture it on film?
Journos have to be observers. We can't get involved. That's our raison d'etre.
So you didn't converse with Miss Brett at all?
Obviously not. An observer always remains on the outside, looking in.
And that's something to be proud of, is it?
For him. Your Excellency, if I may.
Yes, Professor?
I call bullshit. Also, I think the witness's last expertly phrased statement should perhaps be added to his formal testimony.
Father, what are you?
Doing my job.
I will grant the defense's request. Many Memo-san, you will supplement your formal testimony with the aforementioned statement. Well, nihilism's the foundation of many Memoism, but I'll gladly prove that my words aren't meaningless. I never once set foot in the hut, nor spoke with the Englishwoman. I was there only as an observer.
Really, you didn't set foot inside the hut at all? Are you quite sure about that?
I think you may have the wrong impression of me. We're talking about a murder scene here. My nerves were stretched to the breaking point already.
Oh, I see. You were scared? Maybe I did have the wrong impression of you, yes.
It was all I could do to stifle a scream and hold my hand steady enough to snap the shot.
You really should have summoned help before thinking of your camera.
Many Memoism and humanism don't always agree. And most of the time in those instances, many Memoism comes out on top.
Huh.
As a sculptor of stories, sometimes I have to be cruel for my art. Yes, that's spot on.
Surely he's making all this up.
This man has the self-awareness of a tech bro.
Real. Also, man, he must be having some steel nipples if every time he slaps it, he's surviving.
Seriously,
without
that would
screaming.
hurt so bad.
Like, Jesus Christ, my God. He claims to have spied the whole affair from start to finish. If it is true, this testimony is devastating.
But It does seem as though he's holding something back, doesn't it?
Well, if that's how you feel, I suggest that you trust your instincts and press him on everything he said.
We did.
As you've no doubt seen done many times before in your role as judicial assistant.
Yes, I have. I've seen witnesses like this presented often. I know exactly what to do.
Go get him, kid.
Okay, we did that. My smoldering journo spirit burst into flames. Quick as a flash, I whipped out my camera, ready to click.
The court is fully aware of your desire to capture the incident on film, I'm sure. But why then did you choose to post the photograph anonymously to the police?
I'm afraid I don't understand a word that's coming out of your mouth.
I'm asking why, as a journalist, you decided not to make a story out of the incident.
Sorry, are you speaking Japanese? You got a weird accent. I just can't understand it.
Damn, he gonna play that card.
Gaslight us.
Think of me as a sculptor. A sculptor who makes art out of the sordid private details of other people's lives. But I never discuss my own personal life on principle. I mean, that's a basic many-memoism. This is a courtroom, sir.
What the fuck?
It's not something to boast about.
Oh, no doubt your burning desire to see the truth exposed and justice done was what motivated you.
That's it. That's brilliant. My burning desire
Leading
to
the
see
witness.
something or other exposed.
Leading the witness. There has to be a good reason why he didn't think to write an article about what he saw, though.
By your own admission, you were outside the hut. How then did you manage to take the photograph? Ah, yeah, that. I'm glad you asked. I pulled apart the rough weave of one of the screens and poked the lens through for the perfect shot.
But the two women inside didn't notice.
Obviously not. If they had, where would I be right now? In jail, that's where.
Which you'd think would make you reflect on what you were doing?
Nah, Journo's job is to collect little snippets of life as unobtrusively as possible. Leave nothing but footprints, take nothing but photos. Yes, that's spot on.
There were a lot of footprints, though.
Did he just make that up?
The point is, the witness risked his life and limb to obtain this photograph. And this photograph reveals the whole truth. There is nothing more to be said.
Okay, well,
He claims to have spied the whole affair from start to finish. Something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
shh.
Okay, so let's take a look at our evidence really quick. Okay, so I assume that the little
there's
thing
all-
he's talking
Mhm.
about is here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Oh?
get it.
Oh,
I get it.
you do?
Yeah. It's the very hole that he spied from or whatever. Like, what if something comes into question about like when they were fighting and shit? Like, how can he see the action or whatever? Like, versus like whatever the fuck was going on? From an angle. I think it's gonna come down to something about the angle.
Let's see.
Like, how can
Yeah.
the camera blah 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 do this if blah 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 she was here and all this other stuff and the stool's there and yeah, it's probably gonna be something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because, like, okay, so he knows that there's a stool and stuff, but if you look at what he can see, He can't actually see the stool, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see a stool there.
I pulled apart. Let's see. Pick. It was only there.
Because according to Manbami-san, she walked in, they said a couple of words, and then girl falls down in front of her with a knife behind her back, which means he had to stab her from the slit or whatever.
And like, okay, so obviously we know he's lying, right?
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah.
he's not, then they's in trouble. Also, I have to say, love her little swimsuit thing. That's so cute.
Very precious.
Straps are so in. Just like that one Barbie.
The question is, let's see. Seconds later. So there were plenty of gaps I could see through. Okay, that's fine. The English woman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her. I mean, do we do the photograph? Is he going to claim that he could see it from another gap?
Maybe.
Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the English woman to the floor. She stabbed her in the neck, which is not entirely how he described that, but
Maverick, I can't get the toy that you just shoved under the couch.
But Mom. Quick as a flash, I whipped out my camera, ready to click. I don't know, give me a second to reread this one. Didn't set foot inside.
Come up here.
Okay, well that didn't help me. And now, oh wait. No, never mind. He's still saying the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna keep pressing him and see if something happens.
Okay.
Keep thinking. Were you peeping? No, how dare you? I'm a journalist.
Not a perv or some shit, a peeping
Yep.
Tom or whatever.
Basic journalism.
I want to just know why the fuck his hand is still purple.
I mean, I assume it's an ink stain. Which, you know, like, the real question is, why does he have an ink stain when he's writing with pencil? Which is probably because his pen was in the victim's hand, so he doesn't have it, but... Yeah, saw the whole thing. Memo pad. Okay. First peered into the hut. English woman was there, despite the fact he couldn't have actually seen her there.
Yeah, they did make a... Let's see. Where would he see the knife? Also, they made a point of saying the pen's ink reservoir was empty. Catching up with chat's thoughts here.
Yeah, if chat has any ideas, I think we're keeping them open. Okay, the pair of them ended up in the middle of the hut. English woman went for the student, but the girl dodged out of the way.
Where's the stool at, motherfucker?
Well, it's more like I can't tell if this is just bad writing or whether this is actually a hole. So basically, he claims that that Brett lunges for Ray, Ray dodges, and stabs her in the back. She wouldn't be on the ground then.
Yeah. Exactly. She wouldn't be on the ground. She would be standing up when the photo was taken. And she wouldn't be trying to take out the...
Didn't he say something about her being thrown to the ground?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Throwing her to the floor, she stabbed her in the back, and then, you know, like, he kind of contradicts that. But if the culprit... See, this is where I'm having issues. Like, the picture is vague enough that it's like, okay, like in theory, if he was actually standing here, then he wouldn't be able to see her stab her in the back because Ray would have been standing right here, right? Or kneeling right there. So the picture looks like it's actually taken like from here.
Yeah, she would be seeing Ray's back, not Ray's side. That's what I'm saying.
But the problem is, I don't know if it is because that would be absolutely awful to try to illustrate.
It was a skill issue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not exactly the most compelling picture to people's backs. I want him to tell me where he was. But instead we asked the wrong question.
They're being hyper specific about this one, damn.
I mean, the problem is that there's too many tiny contradictions.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one's the right one. And instead of just throwing evidence at it, I'm being cautious instead. Yeah, we have pressed him on it. Okay, so just thinking it through. The contradiction is likely here because we had to get this added. And I've played an Ace Attorney game before.
And we gotta save. Yeah.
I was there only as an observer. I never once set foot in the hut nor spoke with the Englishwoman. I was only there as an observer. I mean, she's got his pen. So I kind of feel like maybe, you know, like, obviously he's talked to her before. You know what? Objection! We're gonna present it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Manabingu-san, until now, I have had a firm belief that newspapers are in the business of uncovering and publishing the truth.
You're spot on there. The press doesn't lie, which is why I'm proud to wear the emblem of the Shoyu News on my arm. In a way, that's more many-memoism.
Sadly, though, It seems the journalists who write for those papers don't always share the same passion for the truth.
Hopefully we're right, because otherwise, like, if we're wrong on this, girl, you needed to stop talking like 3 sentences ago.
Yikes.
Well, what are you suggesting with those recriminatory words, Council?
Manabingu-san, do you recognize this fountain pen? This pen was found at the scene of Miss Brett's death. In fact, the murdered victim was gripping it in her hand when she died.
I love how we just completely overthought this one.
Mm-hmm.
What are you?
If you look at the barrel of the pen, you'll notice that the owner's initials are engraved there. An inopportune moment for me to take a drink. RM.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Council. The initials of the accused, Ray Membami.
Is it a coincidence, I wonder, that your initials are also RM?
I don't know that it's a
No.
coincidence. That's a really weird question.
Right then, Memi Memo. RM.
That's horse dung. Can't you see? One of the central tenets of Memimemoism is being a pencil user.
And yet, as the court will clearly be able to see, your right hand... There we go. There's a very obvious blue ink stain. You dumbass.
Mhm.
Mikotoba.
Bro. Oh, sorry. Bro doesn't wash his hands after using the bathroom? Gross! It would appear that you must have rather carelessly left it somewhere recently. Your favorite fountain pen, that is.
Horsey horse dung.
He just says shitty shit.
Yes.
Almost.
Memi Memo-san, is it not the case that before she died, you met with Giselle Brett in that beach hut?
Why should we listen to this absurd nonsense? It's nothing but another excuse.
Exactly. Shoyu News will stand behind me all the way. I deny everything. There must be as many people with the initials RM as there are stars in the night sky.
The defense has neither the time nor the inclination to count every star in the sky.
Thank you, Susato.
That's great.
And there's no need, anyway, because this pen has more to tell. There's another clue. A clue that undeniably proves who the owner really is.
In that case, counsel, the defense will now show the court where this alleged clue lies.
Of course, Your Excellency. The clue on the fountain pen that clearly reveals its owner's identity is the logo. Slam. As well as the initials, there is also an emblem on this fountain pen. An emblem that you will notice, or you will of course recognize, Memi Memo-san.
Goodness me. It's the emblem of the Shoyu News.
In other words, the owner of this pen is an employee of Shoyu News, whose initials are RM. Suddenly, the stars in the night sky don't seem so numerous, do they?
Oh! Got him.
Well, Memi Momo-san, how do you respond?
No!
Yeah, you're done. You're fucked. You're screwed.
Order! Order! Explain yourself, witness.
You got thoroughly owned.
So, this is how the mighty Supreme Court works, is it? Using coercive tactics to have well-meaning citizens reveal harmless secrets?
I've used nothing but honest tactics.
Alright then, fine. I won't try to hide it anymore. Yes, not long before that grim tragedy unfolded, I, a Shoyu News reporter, on behalf of the public, conducted an interview with the Englishwoman.
An interview? Why so
You-
scandalous?
You never mentioned this before.
When exactly was this?
As I said, it was before that evil little student girl showed her face in the hut. Couldn't have lasted more than 2 or 3 minutes, that's all. It was just a brief exchange. I mean, interview seems kind of generous then, but whatever. But it came to nothing. And as we many memoists say, the people don't pay their dues for unworthy news. However insignificant you deem it to be, this court cannot overlook the meeting between yourself and the victim. You will testify now under oath about the precise nature of this meeting and what transpired. Got it. Yes, all right, but on one condition.
Condition.
Why do you get to set conditions, but whatever. In all good conscience, I couldn't speak out alone about this. You need to call back the earlier witness. Soseki Natsume-san.
Soseki-san?
Oh yeah, according to my notes here, that man has a secret of his own. And brace yourselves, because it's not a harmless one. It's big.
What?
Many memoism states that one man's secret is every other man's front page story. Very well. I will grant the witness's request in this instance. I want the fucking tea. Officer, summon the earlier witness back to the stand.
Soseki-san hiding something? Question mark?
Is he capable?
Drug use.
Oh no, not drugs.
Alright, we have witness testimony. The witness's secrets. I asked the Englishwoman for an interview, but she declined. So I left the hut without making a fuss.
Uh-huh.
Then, watching secretly from outside, I saw the woman being stabbed and the other witnesses come running. The detective realized that the victim still had a pulse, so he ran off to fetch help. That's when this writer man here asked the woman a very significant question. But he didn't say anything about that in his testimony, which is why many memoism demands that I reveal it now. You mean to say the victim?
The victim regained consciousness. Oh well, and when did you decide to ask her a question? That's yes.
He did. And that's not all. The woman gave him a very definite answer. An answer that incriminates the accused.
Uh-oh. This is preposterous. Why am I only hearing about this now? Why didn't you mention this before, you yokel hack? It wasn't even a conversation. Yes, I did pose the withering English Rose a question. I don't deny it, but she could no longer speak. So she was barely conscious, even.
Counsel for the defense, I expect a thorough cross-examination to be conducted here. This court must and will know the truth.
Absolutely, Your Excellency. The report is claiming that Miss Brett implicated race somehow. What on earth could have happened in that hut?
A rave.
Pizza. Pizza.
A pizza party. Alright, cross-examination time. I asked the Englishwoman for an interview, but she declined, so I left the hut without making a fuss.
You asked her for an interview, you say?
Well, of course I did. I wanted to ask her about the incident she was involved in at the end of last year.
About the case in which Dr. John H. Wilson lost his life?
Mhm.
That's not the way I phrased it. Many memoism calls for straight talking. Why did you murder Dr. Wilson is how I put it to her.
Yes, that sort of talking is straight as a ruler.
Ask every question as if you're asking for a menu in a restaurant, I say. It's the best way. A veteran at the paper taught me that.
How did Miss Brett answer?
With one simple phrase. Mystery is a woman's charm. That told me. So I waltzed right out of there.
Really? Something about that doesn't seem to quite fit together.
Leave every room as if you're waltzing at a dance hall, I say. It's the best way. A veteran at the paper taught me that. Then, watching secretly from outside, I saw the woman being stabbed and the other witnesses come running.
That was very persistent of you, considering that Miss Brett had just turned you away.
Persistence wins the prize. Many memoists will tell you that. Let them think
You're the
you've
only
left.
money memoist.
Then, when they lower their guard, that's when you swoop in for the scoop.
And the fruits of your labor are all too apparent in this telling photograph. Though I'm sure the young Yokel student would rather not be reminded of this damning evidence.
Actually, it's thanks to that photograph that we managed to identify the witness.
And now that you found me, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. I've got nothing to hide.
I'm sure.
Please do go ahead, witness. The court is eager to hear what you have to say.
Try to stop me. There's a story to tell here, and I'm gonna tell it.
Please keep yapping.
The detective realized that the victim still had a pulse, so he ran off to fetch help.
And Soseki-san remained behind in the hut?
That's right, yep. Our author friend here was a blabbering wreck, shaking all over from his head to his toes, mustache twitching, eyes bulging.
What do you expect?
You don't know what the terrifying troubles that have done to me while traveling abroad.
Well, believe it or not, we do.
Fearful bars. They'll be coming for me, surely. That's all I could think. I felt as though I were gasping for air, drowning in a sea of cold sweat.
Poor Soseki-san. His experiences in London have scarred him deeply.
As the world seemed to close around me, I quietly recited a prayer to Amida Buddha. Eternal, emptiness, empty, eternity. The end is coming for me, surely.
No sutras are to resound in my courtroom, please. And
My
now,
bad.
we come to the crucial part. That's what happened. That's when this writer man here asked the woman a very significant question.
What question? What exactly did he say?
Well now, you should hear that from the horse's mouth, I think. Don't you, Mr. Writer Man?
I think the horse needs a nap.
Out with it, yokel hack. What did you hear her say? What did you say to the dying Englishwoman?
Oh, well, in truth, I'd been catching crabs in the water's edge and building castles in the sand, you see.
Well, the seaside is a place to be at leisure, I suppose. Even for a grown man.
But then all of a sudden, from that little beach hut, a young girl's panic-stricken cries for help pierced the air.
Ray.
I ran up to the beach to see what was happening, to find the defendant leaning over a collapsed victim. And as soon as the Inspector Hosonaga saw Miss Brett on the ground, he sprinted off to get help. And And then, just a moment later, I heard a ringtone, a moan from the dead English woman. I nearly jumped out of my skin.
But what did you ask her, Soseki-san?
How much money did you save by switching to guy? I asked her, who did this to you?
Don't protract this any longer. How did the woman respond?
She didn't. She said nothing in response. But
When in the stand, you will answer the questions asked of you unambiguously. Now, without evasion or reticence, I demand that you amend your testimony.
I will. I asked her who did this to you, but she never replied.
So you tried to find out who the culprit was.
He who asks a question is a fool for a minute. He does not remain a fool forever. And having been labeled a criminal twice during my time in Great Britain, I was quick to make up my mind. Better to be a fool for a minute than remain a fool in prison forever.
Fair.
However, you've indicated that the victim failed to respond. Is that correct?
I know why. I know why the English woman said nothing. She was ignoring me because of my stupid mustache because I'm Japanese.
Racist till the end.
It's racist. She was racist.
Oh dear, Soseki-san has really developed a dislike for the English, it seems.
She's a Karen. Having read the report on his time in Great Britain, I can't say I'm surprised at his xenophobia.
But the English woman didn't ignore you at all. Did she, Mr. Writer-Man?
Well, yes, all right. She did respond in a manner of speaking, I suppose. She just lifted a trembling finger and pointed it in the direction of the defendants.
Well, that's not good.
Miss Brett pointed a finger at the defendant? Soseki-san, is that really true?
It's not easy to stand here and say this, but when we first entered the beach hut, the Englishwoman was sprawled on the floor before us, with the student girl standing in the far side of her. And when I asked who did this to you, the Englishwoman summoned her last ounce of strength to point a trembling finger at the back of the hut. Oh, which it can be. Oh, but which was, it can't be denied, at the direction of the student girl who stands accused today.
Or the camera back there.
Exactly, the camera. There.
No.
Posthumous racism, the best kind. Soseki-san, why on earth did you neglect to mention this in your original testimony?
Fiddlesticks, I think!
But you're going to end up in jail for contempt of court soon. This is not a British court of law. You will respond in Japanese.
Yes, of course. The Englishwoman did point her finger towards the back of the hut, but I was trembling, and she was trembling, and everything was a blur. And thinking about it, I feel as though perhaps she was pointing a slightly different direction. Actually, no, not slightly, in the very different direction, to where the student girl was standing. To somewhere in the back of the hut, where nobody was standing at all.
You mean that your memory of events at the and the direction in which the victim was pointing are both unclear?
Yes, that's it. Unclear. It's very, very unclear.
Your Excellency, surely this proves the matter beyond all reasonable doubt. Yes, the woman may barely have been conscious, and yes, perhaps her finger wavered slightly. But there can be no doubt that there was an attempt by the victim to confirm the identity of her assailant. Why? Because, as the court can see, there is no one other than the accused in the direction the victim was pointing.
except for the cameraman, but it is
Detail.
now abundantly clear that no one besides the accused could possibly have committed the crime.
I am inclined to agree. And in the absence of any credible argument to the contrary, I believe we can now conclude this trial. The headline's writing itself. Dashing lawyers' hopes dashed. 92 point across the whole page. We'll do an extra edition.
This is a serious blow, Susato. Unless we're able to identify the true culprit and substantiate the claim with evidence, the judge will give this ruling and the trial will be over.
But that's impossible, Father. We don't even know how the crime was committed yet.
I say it was a stab in the back. Impossible, though the task may seem we have no choice. We must think back over everything we've learned thus far. Somewhere in all those details, I'm confident we'll find the clue we need.
Ray gave us her account of how events unfolded in the defendant's antechamber before the trial resumed. She told us what happened at the precise moment Miss Brett was killed.
The English woman was sitting at the back of the hut, listening to what I was saying. And then, a moment later, she suddenly got to her feet. Before collapsing on the floor in front of me, with a knife in her back.
How could Miss Brett have been stabbed in the back in a beach hut that was empty but for herself and Ray? Somewhere amid all the information we've gathered so far, there must be an answer to that question.
I take it then that the defense has nothing further to add?
So, the gallant Yokel student luck finally runs out. I can't say I'm surprised.
In that case, I am ready to deliver my final verdict on this matter. Susato, girl, you gotta say something.
Gotta say something.
This is a crucial turning point now. If I can't establish what really happened, it's over. Where was the real culprit hiding? How did they stab the victim?
You know what? We're gonna go for it. I know it. Because I think I have an idea of how it could happen.
Yeah. Your Excellency.
Real.
Sorry. Your Excellency, I respectfully ask you to postpone your education for the time being.
Oh? To what end, counsel?
The defense would like to present the court with an alternate theory. An alternative theory that can explain who the victim was actually trying to implicate with her dying gesture.
Alternative facts. An alternative theory? Ha! None exists.
There was someone else present at the scene who could have committed this crime.
What?
And the victim, Miss Brett, tried to reveal who it was to those around her at the time. By mustering all her remaining strength and pointing a trembling finger in the killer's direction.
This is fiction! Fantasy!
Very well. As you seem so sure of yourself, counsel, I'm prepared to hear your alternative theory. So, young Ryutaro Naruhodo,
Yes, Your Excellency.
you will present your latest theory to the court by means of this plan. At the moment the victim was stabbed, where exactly are you proposing the culprit was concealed?
Back here.
Naruhodo-san would never give up, and I am a Naruhodo now.
By soon-to-be marriage. Someday.
Hot.
The true culprit who fatally stabbed Miss Brett was concealed in this location here.
Are you mad, counsel? You're suggesting that the culprit was outside the hut?
You what?
Speechless.
Order! Order! Order!
Lawyer.
But student lawyer Naruhodo-san Esquire, that makes no sense at all.
I forgot about his stupid Esquire thing. You've just pointed out the exact spot where I was hiding to get my scoop snap. Oh, good. You've maybe foreseen what our next accusation is. But I didn't see any suspicious individuals loitering about. I can swear to that.
Because you're the sus one.
Yeah.
You're the sus bitch.
Obviously, if the culprit had been outside the hut, there is no way that he or she could have stabbed the victim was inside of the hut.
Actually, Prosecutor Ouchie, there is a way. Sorry. And in point of fact, the defense can prove evidence strongly suggesting that this is precisely the way Miss Brett was killed.
Okay, strong evidence is maybe not what we have, Susato. Please don't oversell it.
Too confident.
The defense's assertion is clearly too fantastical for the court to comprehend. You will need to give us more guidance, counsel. What piece of evidence corroborates your theory that the victim was stabbed from outside the hut? I mean, I'm gonna look around, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be the fact that you can see the hole.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The original photographic print of the crime scene.
Yes, it's clearly visible in the print. The trace of the fatal thrust that was delivered from outside the beach hut.
Do you take us for fools? There's no hint of any such thing.
I'm not sure that everyone present would agree. Look at him, he's sweating. Someone at least appears to have noticed that, or noticed what it is that I'm referring to.
Counsel, once again, I must call on you to be explicit for the court. Where on this photograph is the trace of the stabbing, which you claim took place from outside the hut?
Right there. It's their hole.
Okay,
Fire in the hole.
there we go.
Look closely just here.
I will say it is so much easier sometimes to play these on touch screens.
Mm.
In the screen at the back of the hut, you can see the effects of a blade having been forced through the reeds.
No, I can't. I can't see such a thing.
It's true that the hut in question had 4 walls you'd expect. However, by parting the reeds, a knife blade could easily penetrate them.
This is extraordinary.
Yes. The true culprit actually stabbed the victim from outside the beach hut. And if everyone present at the scene, there's only one person who could have done that. Only one person who was directly outside the hut when Miss Brett was killed.
But I didn't see anyone else.
Raiten Menimomo-san. It could only have been you.
Damn.
No.
This preposterous idea leaves me almost speechless. Just look at the photograph again. The victim lies almost exactly in the center of the beach hut, does she not? Are we to assume, as part of the farcical scenario, that the assailant was a knife thrower?
No, of course not.
We're not.
If you recall the testimony of the defendant about the events just before the victim's death.
Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on a stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable.
A stool.
However, good lord, my words are not. Anyway, have another look at the photograph. The slit in the red reed screen. would align perfectly with the back of a person who was sitting on that stool.
My word. So, in fact, the victim was...
Killed whilst sitting on that stool by a stab wound to her back delivered through the reed screen.
Oh,
Having been attacked, Miss Brett rose to her feet instinctively. But then, unable to speak, she collapsed to the floor, or on the floor, in the hut before the defendant, Mambavi-san, apologized. And that, Your Excellency, is the truth of what happened on that beach day. At the beach that day. Fire silence, Memimomo-san. I take it that you don't deny the charge?
Nah, dog, I'm good.
this is absurd.
I'm just having my feelings. That will do. It would appear that we have a tacit admission of guilt from the witness. Accordingly, this court has successfully established the truth of this matter, which means that the defendant, Membami-san, is innocent of the crime.
Oh, thank goodness. I finally made him cave.
I must say, I've never been more proud.
Aw.
No, this can't be. The Hochi clan can't. Oh, what of my growth of hope? It was all an apparition. I can't accept this. I won't.
I see no reason for the continuance of this trial. I will therefore move to conclude proceedings by delivering my final verdict and...
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
Oh.
Well, this is all very convenient. This is how the highest court in our mighty empire delivers justice, is it? Suppressing well-meaning citizens' freedom to speak and branding them as criminals?
Ow.
But you did get an opportunity
You were caught.
to speak.
We've established that the victim was stabbed from outside the hut through the reed screen walls.
And no one but you was in the place at the time to have his hand on the hilt of the blade. It's a perfectly logical deduction.
I suddenly remember seeing someone who was standing right there for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So your argument hinges on the location of whoever stabbed the Englishwoman, does it? Well, it seems a little irrelevant now.
Irrelevant.
Where she was stabbed, how she was stabbed, it doesn't matter. I mean, whether she was stabbed at all makes no difference if you think about it.
Kind does.
After all, this trial's already shown the whole thing hinges on something else.
Oh god.
What are you talking about?
Brace yourself, little man. I'm talking about the fact that everything's changed. Because of the dirt you dug up.
What?
Enough obscurity. Explain yourself, witness. What's to explain? I'm talking about the poison, of course.
Well, the poison?
The poison for Cusco, Cusco's poison. Let's ask the professor for a comment on the situation, shall we? I understand that a deadly poison you were developing was stolen from your laboratory, correct? And it's been shown that this poison was administered to the victim, Miss Brett. Is that right?
That is correct. The unusual constriction of the victim's pupils are sure signal that this particular poison was used.
I see, I see. So, presumably, that means that the victim already had the poison in her body before she was stabbed? Okay, wait. His whole argument here is, yeah, I stabbed her, but also she was dying anyways.
Yeah.
The fuck?
I don't think that necessarily holds up, but whatever.
Mhm. Given that her pupils were clearly constricted, it seems highly likely, yes. And if she had been dead already, the poison could not have circulated in her blood.
Oh, Ouchie clan is saved. Maybe. Ah, how refreshing to hear the argument of a metropolitan mind. Precisely. It matters not a jot who stabbed in whom, in whose back, in whose blade. Because, quite simply, the Englishwoman's life was taken not by the knife, but by the poison.
Objection!
But that can't be explained by the poison being on the blade, as I already...
Ha ha ha! Forgotten already, have you, Yokel? During the very proceedings, the laboratory and the professor at your side assisted in providing. That the blade of the weapon used to attack the victim had no trace of poison on it whatsoever.
Ugh.
So let me get this down. The facts, as skillfully established by the defense in this trial, turn out to be a headline-making red herring. Is that about right?
Well...
Our turn to go,
Yeah. Order, order, order. But, where does this leave us? I think this leaves us in a good place to stop for tonight. And I am pretty sure we'll finish this trial next time.
Yeah.
So, next stream is Sunday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. We've made it to Friday, y'all. Finally.
Oh my god, holy shit.
Yay!
Yippee, Friday, yippee!
So we'll be back on Sunday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. Anyone got any announcements they'd like to share? Give.
Hello! I do have one. So I'm going to be participating in my friend Pengi Time's subathon, birthday subathon tomorrow. Saturday. Saturday. We sang a cover together, so if you guys want to check that out and wish Pengi a happy birthday, which is today, Pengi Time on Twitter. So look out for a fun little karaoke collab I did with VTuber Pengi.
Nice.
That's it for me.
Cool. Lamer, you got anything?
No.
Cool. Thanks for hanging out tonight, and we'll be back on Sunday. Have a good night, all.
Good night.